You guys, we're so excited. I feel like we just have to skip the intro and get right to the first story because we have an update. It's not a new update. It's just an update that I completely missed from last week's episode.
Oh my God. I thought that we literally gave this a whole week to record and this update just popped up.
No, I think it's from 4 months ago. So I should have seen it.
Oh my God.
I should have seen it in the last episode, but I didn't. So we're gonna do it now.
Okay, I guess it's an update for us.
Okay. So it was about the work wife situation last week. We're not going to re-say the whole story, but there was an OP who had a husband, and one of his colleagues at his work was referred to as his work wife, and she was extremely disrespectful towards this OP and was rude to her face. Her husband didn't stick up for her, and then the work wife's partner contacted OP and shared screenshots of the messages between the work wife and OP's husband. This story got a lot of feedback on YouTube, and everyone's responses were so interesting, and most people said that they also hate the term work wife and work husband because it's so weird and disrespectful and unnecessary. So I'm with everyone there. And one thing that a few people said was, if he was so unhappy, why is he still staying with this person? And I feel like that's because it's easier to stay in a relationship, even if you're unhappy, than it is to accept that you're truly not happy and end it, especially when you're married. So I feel like that's why he stayed with her.
Aww.
But we can read the update.
Okay.
Update. I don't like the relationship between my husband and his work wife, and neither does her partner.
Shocking.
Yeah, this is from 119 days ago, so I definitely should have seen this update in the last episode. I have talked to my husband. I told him that I have talked to the work wife's boyfriend and showed him the messages I was sent. My husband asked why her boyfriend was spying on his girlfriend, and I told him that it was because he didn't like the way that things went down on the trip. I told him how I too was very uncomfortable. He was very confused and told me that his work wife obviously was jealous and that I shouldn't care about her. I told him that she didn't bother as much as the fact that he was amused by her attempts to bring me down the entire time. So much, in fact, that her boyfriend was so uncomfortable that he went through her phone. I also asked him why he was letting her trash talk me in their texts. Again, he insisted that he just felt that she was petty and jealous and didn't want to stoop to her level. That is such an excuse.
So
He's backpedaling so hard right now. He said that I did the same when I ignored her rudeness, and he thought that was the classy thing to do. But he joined in on it. That's the thing.
He's so fake.
He's so fake. Ugh. Now he's trying to be like, no, you were classy about it, and that's what I do too. No. Ugh. I asked him why she was doing this. Was there anything between them, and to please tell me now before it got complicated? He said of course not, and if there was something from her, then it wasn't his problem because he loved me, and so on and so forth. I asked him about him loving her brain, and he said it was strictly about something work-related and offered to show me the conversation. I think in one of their messages, he told the work wife that he loved her brain.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's not the weirdest thing. If that's the only example of weird shit going down,
he very well could just be saying I like the way you think. I love your brain.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that isn't a good. Yeah, I can let that slide.
So show us the conversation, husband. That's not the problem anyway.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll show you the whole thing. It's like, well, that's the one that isn't even problematic. I just won't show you the
conversation where I invited her to the hotel.
The next day, I was still brooding, so he came to me, kissed me, and apologized and told me that I was right and that he was being stupid, but he never thought about it as disrespect, but some female jealousy that he thought was pitiful and beneath him. He promised to do better. I told him that if somebody was trashing him like this in front of me, no matter how petty their reasons were or how pathetic I thought they were, I would have hated them and never wanted them in my life. Unfortunately, I started crying then, and he told me that he was so sorry. Yesterday, the boyfriend called me again, and we talked. We had decided to talk after confronting our significant others. Their conversation was worse, and work wife admitted to her boyfriend that she had feelings for my husband, and she suspected that my husband had feelings for her too. They have kissed at the summer work party. I showed my husband the screenshot when he got home. He started to freak out, telling me that yes, she did kiss him, him, but he rebuffed her and told her that he wasn't interested. That was when she got nastier towards me. So you knew she had a thing for you? And he said yes. I asked him to show me his phone, and he had deleted his conversation with her. Shady.
Oh my God. Wait, I'm sick.
He said it was because he was embarrassed. Yeah, he fucking should be. He's shady as heck.
Oh, buddy.
He didn't tell me when the kiss happened, and now he was afraid I would think it was more than what it was. I asked him to move out, and he is currently at his mother's.
Hell yeah, OP.
He keeps saying that there's nothing between them, that he loves me and could never cheat on me, that he will make her come clean to me, that he will quit his job and never see her again. I'm just so brokenhearted right now, and all I want is to cry. Thank you for listening. I needed this. And then there was a short edit. Maybe I should have mentioned that he also told me he could prove it was she who came on to him because it happened in the office cafeteria and there were surveillance cameras, and that he could request the clip from that day. Who he kissed doesn't really change how I feel about this whole ordeal.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
Like, part of me kind of believes him.
I'm like, why is part of me also kind of believing him? Am I just like gaslighting myself, or is he really good at gaslighting us?
Yeah, is he really gaslighting all of us right now?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he didn't, let's break it down into parts. The fact that his colleague disrespected his wife to her face and he said nothing
is in and of itself a problem.
Yeah. But let's say you have a perfect relationship and you never have major issues and that's the only thing that's ever happened. Sometimes people make mistakes and they just don't understand how to act in certain situations, and maybe he would learn from it. I'm really giving this guy the benefit of the doubt here.
And we don't normally do that here.
No, I don't. Usually I'm like, dump his ass and move on. But I'm really trying. But then he also talked shit on his wife and made fun of her in text messages.
And then deleted the text messages because he was embarrassed or to cover his tracks.
Yeah, embarrassed is a really good excuse.
I'm also a firm believer that, like, you can make anything look the way you want it to look. Like, he deleted the messages and then he's like, and I can prove to you that she came on to me. Like, and then if he can't get the surveillance footage or quote can't get it,
right,
he's gonna ask her to validate it, like, oh, tell my wife that we never did this, because that's what they do. That's what liars do.
Yeah.
I mean, I was cheated on by a very long-term boyfriend in high school, and he had the girl text me and be like, nothing ever happened while you guys were dating. And I was like, okay, you little shit. Like, I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
Yeah, like,
I don't want to hear anything he has to say, but he's gonna make you say this to me to cover his tracks.
Yeah, and like the girl in that situation is probably also being manipulated by the man, so she's gonna do anything he asks of her.
Or she's just desperate to get him to like her.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
is that being manipulated, though? That's being desperate.
She probably thinks that she's going to get something from him if she does this for him,
I guess. Or he's just not going to shit on her. Or she thinks, like, he's just going to start trusting her.
Yeah. Or, like, maybe I'll still have a shot with him if I do this favor for him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer that, like, when someone cheats on their significant other, the extra person isn't at fault. Like, the person doing the cheating is at fault.
Yeah.
But to an extent. Like, if this coworker, say they are cheating, this coworker knows he's married, has met the wife, is also cheating. Like, she is very much to blame here. Like, him saying, oh, I need to cover my tracks, you need to help me. Maybe she's then going to be like, oh, shit, I should probably do this.
I don't know. She told her...
I don't necessarily think she's being manipulated by this man's.
Yeah, maybe not in this situation. But she did tell her boyfriend the truth. So if that wasn't the truth, why would she tell her boyfriend? Like, what would be the reason to tell her boyfriend that?
I mean, maybe that's the truth, but she didn't elaborate on the details of the truth. Like, there's more extent than she told him.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think she made that up. I think she definitely kissed him at the work party and has feelings for him.
Yeah, definitely. And her saying, I think he has feelings for me too, that's just like a guess. She doesn't actually know that.
Unless he said it.
But then if he did say it to her, she wouldn't have said, I think he has feelings for me too. She'd say, he told me he has feelings for me.
So why is she dating this guy then? Because the other couple's married.
Maybe
this girl can walk away.
Maybe she thinks that she's going to shoot her shot with the married guy, and if it works out, then she'll leave her boyfriend for him, and if it doesn't work out, then at least she still has her boyfriend. People are fricked.
Yeah, people really do
People
that.
do weird shit like that.
Frick.
And then same thing I was saying earlier, people are like, but if you really aren't happy in your relationship, why didn't you just leave already? It's like, it's so hard to come to terms with the fact that you're married and deep down you are unhappy. Like your subconscious might be telling you that you might be attracted to tons of other people and not be feeling fulfilled, but to come to terms with that and accept it and say it out loud and then go to your partner, even harder if you're married to that person, that changes your entire life. It is so hard to do that. So that's why people stay. Not that that's a reason to stay, but that's why people do it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I just hate cheaters. So here we are in the same conversation we have all the time, and I'm just like livid about every little detail because nothing changes like my mind on these types of things. I'm not saying you're trying to change my mind. I see all the reasons. I guess I'm just at a loss for words every time we talk about cheaters because there's nothing more that I can possibly say at this point.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying that it's right. It's so wrong, but that's the reason people stay and people cheat, because they're too weak to do the right thing. Yeah. They're just like little, I was going to say rats, but like rats are fine.
Yeah, they're like the gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah.
Like too weak to stick to only your shoe, partially stick to the sidewalk, and then just get dragged along.
Wow.
Being disgusting and annoying.
Yeah, and just ruining your whole day. Yeah. And potentially your whole pair of shoes.
Yeah. Like literally don't ruin my shoes.
Yeah.
Don't stop being nasty gum. And whether you're a cheater or you're the side host, stop being nasty gum.
And then it takes so long to clean your shoes.
It takes so long to get the gum off your shoe.
And even if you get most of it off, there's always still going to be that little stain that just reminds you that the gum was there.
The stain is there, and you had to walk around with that little stickiness on the bottom of your foot whenever you wanted to just like get your steps in. You're like, stick.
Yeah.
Like you're disgusting.
Yeah. And you can take the shoes off and maybe you forget about the shoes for a few weeks or a few months, but eventually the shoes are going to come back to you. And you're going to have to remember the stupid gum that happened to you.
And then you're going to have to donate them and think about how you should have thrown them in the trash. Just like the gum should have been put in the trash. But no, it was dropped on the sidewalk and you had to step in it.
Wait, why are we blaming the person that stepped in it? Blame the gum. It's not the shoe owner's fault. It's the gum's fault.
Sorry. You know what's worse than like being the gum? Being the gum that picks up all the dirt off the ground.
I feel like this metaphor is going really far to the point where we're losing it because you were about to just start victim blaming because we forgot who was the bad guy in the metaphor.
Sorry.
So back to the story. Yeah, the husband fucking sucks. If he's telling the truth, I feel like OP, you have to ask yourself, considering all of the information and everything you know about your husband, the evidence that the work wife's boyfriend has given to you, do you believe your husband? And if you do believe him, can you gain that trust back that you lost through this situation? Or
That's really hard.
If you don't believe him, can he ever get trust back?
Can you recover from this? And I guess what it comes down to is how much other shit there is in the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, has he lost your trust before? Has he gained it back before?
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
Yeah. And I think
there might be an update and we could know and Kelly won't read it.
I will continue to look for updates. It's just hard because I feel like I hate to justify shitty behavior, but people do make mistakes. And if his only mistake was like making a bad joke with his work wife, which I hate that concept anyway, or not standing up for her when the work wife was being rude to her, I feel like if that's something that OP can talk to her partner about and get through, then sure, your relationship might be able to be saved. But I don't know, if he actually cheated on you, I'm like, he doesn't deserve you, baby. Get the hell out.
Right. Like, don't keep walking around with the gum on the bottom of your shoe. Decide if it's worth to keep the shoes and scrape the gum off or keep wearing the shoes.
Does that? Yeah. Okay. Sure.
It makes sense.
Yeah. I feel really bad for OP, though, because I feel like she was blindsided by this. And this had definitely been going on.
And she would have never known if they hadn't gone on the work
That's
retreat.
what I'm saying. Like, she only found out this information because the work wife took it too far and insulted her to her face. And if she never took it that far,
asshole.
The husband wouldn't have just been like, oh yeah, babe, by the way, this girl kissed me at work and I am a little bit too flirty with her at work sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you just would never have found that information out.
Right. But she still would have never found out if she hadn't spoken to the other boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he hadn't gotten the truth. Like, imagine you think that your husband finally tells you the truth, and then more truth comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he's clearly not being completely upfront because he could have told her from the start, like, look, she has feelings for me. I've been trying to push it off. She literally tried to kiss me at work.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I think that if this were me, now that I'm delving more into this, there is no bouncing back from this because he was not truthful up front. You asked him for the truth.
True.
He was still not truthful. I think that you stepped in some gum. Your options are to scrape the gum off and keep wearing the shoes or donate the shoes. And I think at this point, donate the shoes.
Yeah, I feel like at first I was like, oh, well, maybe we could make it work because of this or this. And then I'm like, wait, no. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Regardless of the situation, if the work wife really did come on to him and he really doesn't have feelings for her, he lied to the wife once. He hid the truth from her. She gave him a chance to come out. He did it again. We're not coming back from this. End of discussion. Done.
Yeah, husband sucks. And good for you for kicking him out. He can go cry at his mom's house in the same way that I'm sure you were crying when he and his colleague ripped you apart for being a hairstylist.
Yeah, frick him.
Yeah, frick him. That's so sad.